It's Friday. It's Friday, and it is what it is. It's Friday. I got some energy in my body, feeling good. Yeah. House update. We got a lot of progress. We got a lot of burnt crap out, but we're having to go back and forth with this insurance company because they just kind of want to paint over stuff instead of pulling out the drywall that will smell like smoke. So, the fun process. The house update with my house is that people want to buy it very fast. Mother's Day is Sunday. Shout out to all mothers out there. I forget most of the time, but I had a gentle reminder to my sons. My oldest has got it down packed. My youngest has got it down packed, actually. I was like, Mother's Day Sunday, I just kind of nudged them. He's like, I know, Mom. Okay, we're on the right track. But I said that to say is because my realtor's like, prepare for someone to come to your house. No, my dude, at 9 a.m. too. Who coming to see my house at 9 a.m. unless you dropping a meal on me at 9 a.m.? No. Is that unreasonable? Nobody should be coming to see nobody's house at 9 a.m. My house is not vacant. Not gonna wake up my entire house for that. It gives me ick vibes. And I know that these are the things you gotta do to sell your house, and this is the part I don't like. And yeah. So I told him he can come after 1. He ain't said nothing else. But how are you going to text me too to my prepared? No. See, this is what I be saying though. Tone is everything with me. And I could be overreacting, but it's Mother's Day. I'm not showing my house on Mother's Day. And if I do, it'll be at the time I say. And I don't know anybody that's viewed a house at 9 a.m. that was occupied by humans. Get over yourself, whoever you are. And if you are the future buyer, drop me a mail and you can see my house. Let's see what's going on in the news. There was some news going on today. I glanced at a few things. Let's see what we got here. The Title 42 has expired. Officials are bracing for a potential influx of people at the southern border. That's literally all that's been on the news lately. I would not want to live in El Paso. No discrimination against immigrants or anything like that. But the way they show that news story, it's wild. Justice Department is seeking to stop a deposition with Donald Trump this month in lawsuits filed by 2 former FBI officials who have been frequent targets of criticism by the former president. I don't know what that is about. Federal judge in Virginia has ruled that a law banning federal firearm dealers from selling handguns to young adults under 21 violates the Second Amendment and is unconstitutional. So they can buy them now. I don't really know what to tell y'all. I haven't heard of any mass shootings in Virginia. Not saying that there aren't, but so Natalie Holloway, the dude Euron Vandersloot, who was allegedly supposed to be her killer, they are trying to get him extradited to the U.S. in connection with her murder. Do y'all think he'll ever fess up to it? No, I don't think he will. But they're still after him after all these years. He went to prison for killing somebody else, so his karma kind of got him. But we'll see if he is brought to justice or if he admits to doing what he did. He was serving 28 years for the first murder he did, or the second, or whoever knows how many, if he got away with some. Let's see. Let's see what else we got here. It's kind of like some repetitive news. Yeah, it's kind of repetitive. Nothing that we haven't discussed. Some teacher in Florida was arrested for letting a kid hit her vape pen. Not shocking at all. I bet a lot of teachers be vaping because the way y'all be addicted to them vape pens is serious business. So I can see a lot of teachers sneaking a vape. Which honestly, these kids are so stressful. Like they should be able to. The Kim Kardashian lookalike woman arrested in her death allegedly gave butt injections without license. So I don't know what that means, but I know the lookalike died, but I don't know. I can't. I don't know who Jimmy Allen is. Let's see who he is. He's a country star. He's being accused of raping his former business manager and further sexually abusing her during the 18 months on the job. In a lawsuit obtained by TMZ, a woman who claims she was hired straight out of college to work as Jimmy's day-to-day manager claims he made her life a sexual hell. The woman who is suing as Jane Doe claims Jimmy took her virginity when he raped her in a Los Angeles hotel room back in 2021 after filming a guest appearance on American Idol. She claims she went to dinner with Jimmy and the industry executives after the Idol taping and had a couple of glasses of white wine, then lost consciousness, waking up naked in her hotel room several hours later, confused and bleeding from her vagina. Dang. In her suit, the woman says she realized she had lost her virginity through no choice of her own and says she felt betrayed by her fate. She says Jimmy insisted they go to the nearest drugstore to buy Plan B and claims they rushed to get the pill. She says he opened the package and supervised her as she took the meds. The woman claims Jimmy grabbed her, forcefully kissed her goodbye after she took the Plan B, whispering, "You're mine now." She says she was terrified to tell her boss what happened for fear of being fired like Jimmy's manager before her. In docs, the woman says Jimmy eventually ratcheted up the sexual harassment, grabbing her breasts and butt, shoving his hands down her pants in public, and harassing her to engage in sexual conduct. She claims Jimmy also sexually abused her in cars, green rooms, airplanes, basically everywhere she was required to go with him as part of her job. She also says he raped her in private while choking her and videotaped multiple sexual encounters in order to blackmail her to stay silent. The woman says she tried talking to her bosses, but says they never investigated her claims and instead made it clear she would be fired if she complained. By October 2022, the woman says she was depressed, anxious, and contemplating suicide as a result of Jimmy's alleged conduct, and she says she told her boss she couldn't put up with Jimmy anymore, asked to be reassigned. Instead, she says she was placed on leave and ultimately fired. Jimmy tells us it is deeply troubling and hurtful that someone I counted on as one of my closest friends, colleagues, and confidants would make allegations with no truth to them whatsoever. I acknowledge that we had a sexual relationship, one that lasted nearly 2 years. During that time, she never once accused me of any wrongdoing, and she spoke of our relationship or friendship as being something she wanted to continue indefinitely. He continues, only after things ended between us did she hire a lawyer to reach out and ask for money, which leads me to question her motives. The simple fact is her accusations are not only false but also extremely damaging, and I've worked incredibly hard to build my career, and I intend to mount a vigorous defense to her claims to take all legal action necessary. The lawsuit allegations come on the heels of Jimmy splitting from his pregnant wife, Alexis Gale. As we first reported, the couple have been trying to work through issues, but ultimately decided it was their best for their family to separate. Look like Jimmy got some problems in the country world. It's not a so-called dog kicking song, but Jimmy, if you survive this, you can make a song. And if you go to jail, you can make a song. But either way, I see a song coming out of this. Shakira is hanging with Lewis Hamilton. What else? Babyface and Anita Baker kind of had a little issue. Anita was on tour and her concert was like 2.5 hours late. And Babyface was not able to perform. he didn't get that whip appeal. Let's see what else we got going on. We'll see. Just more about the border. Drunk driver who killed new bride was more than 3 times over the legal limit. Told cops I did nothing wrong. Kendall Jenner's on the beach looking picture perfect in a bikini. I know you guys are always here for that, right? Not one wrinkle or piece of cellulite on her little body. I think I'm gonna read some Reddit stuff because the news is slow today, which is a good thing. That means not too much on the murder mayhem. We've taken a day off. What trait in a person do you find creepy? I don't like intense eye stares or people that get really close to you when they talk. Like, I don't like close proximity people. Let's see what people are saying. Firm handshake, but they don't let go. Bring back the fist bumps for real, dude. Like, some COVID rules need to come back for real. A lot of people are saying people that stand too close. Taking pictures of strangers without permission. People who just don't respect boundaries. I had no comment on that because some people, I've never taken a picture of a stranger, but I have seen some stuff that I wish I had my camera. People question literally everything I do, like, chill, bro. Not even, I know why I did that. People who touch other people without permission. Yes, big pet peeve. Big pet peeve. Especially in today's society, dude. What would you do if you had an extra $1,000 every month? Spend it on junk, probably. I mean, in a perfect world, I'd be paying off more bills, but I'd save half of it and probably blow the rest on stupid stuff. Somebody said pay off debts. You guys are so responsible. Invest. Donate. Buy lingerie. Spend it on drugs. How do broke people always have money for weed? That's what I'd be wondering. Where do y'all get y'all drug money from? Saying not pay bills. Probably borrow some for people, grow their own. Is it possible to grow that much and smoke that much? I don't know. Like, that's what I'm saying. I don't know. Yeah, Reddit was cute. Let's get into these story times. I got a few for you guys. Let's hit it off. Hopefully it's not too much murder and mayhem. I can't remember. I know this one is yeah. Let's go.
This sister wants their mother freed from the prison where she is doing time for an unspeakable crime. But this sister feels very differently.
I don't want her out.
Ashley Smith was just 14 months old when her mother did something terrible to her. Minutes after this photo was taken, Ashley's mom removed the racks from this oven, set the dial to broil, and put little Ashley inside, head first. District Attorney Randall Houston.
During the time that she was in there, it was truly a torture chamber.
Ashley was rescued by her dad, who heard her screams. He pulled her out of the oven and rushed her to the hospital. 14 years later, Ashley still carries the scars from the burns on her arms and forehead.
I've had 38 surgeries. It was painful, but I got through it.
Ashley's mother, Melissa Wright, pleaded guilty to attempted murder and was sentenced to 25 years.
I do not hate her. I do not love her. I don't want to see her. I think that she's crazy. I cannot imagine any mother wanting to burn their child.
Ashley's big sister, Courtney, was 8 at the time and saw everything.
While I'm standing by the refrigerator, she picked up Ashley and hugged her and told her that she loved her, and then just like everything was fine. And next thing you know, there goes Ashley in the oven door shut.
Courtney says their mom was mentally ill and suffering from the side effects of antidepressant medication. Voices in my head were telling me to put Ashley in the oven, the mother told police.
When my mama did this, she wasn't in her right mind.
Courtney, who now has a son and a year-old daughter of her own, says her mother has been treated for her mental problems in her 14 years in prison and deserves to be freed.
She's not a monster. She is a changed woman, and people need to realize that.
Both sisters appeared before the Alabama Parole Board.
She is on the right medication to help her with her mental illness. I feel like she has changed.
Then Ashley told how she felt.
I can't imagine anyone in as much.
Buried her face in her hands when she heard the decision. Once so close as children, the two sisters are now not speaking to each other.
I don't know. Would you guys want your mom out if she put you in the oven? I know that's not funny, but I don't know. Mental health is real. I'll say that.
Have you ever heard of someone adopting a child and then using them as their surrogate? That is exactly what happened in this case, and I will be using the victim's name because she has done some interviews. I think the most popular one was with People magazine. But there is much more information if you wanted to read more about it. Abigail was just 9 years old when she was adopted by her uncle and aunt, Eusebio and Laura Castillo. Abigail said that the essay started almost immediately, but initially it was just her uncle. After a while, Laura joined in. The abuse went on for more than 15 years. Her uncle, who was a sergeant in the U.S. Army, told her that if she ever mentioned it to anyone, that he would unalive her. Over the course of the 15 years, Abigail had 3 of Eusebio's children, but she was not allowed to mother them. They were brought up as Abigail was their sister and Laura was their mother. Abigail was depressed and often thought about ending her life, but could not because she did not want to leave her children in the hands of these monsters without her there to protect them. The couple started a church in their backyard where they claimed that Abigail's firstborn was able to cure cancer. They called her the miracle child, and people would come in their backyard for services and meet her. That is where Abigail met her future husband, Rudy, and he helped give her enough courage to leave. On July 20th, 2014, Abigail fled the house with her 3 children and went to the police station with Rudy. When Abigail had escaped the home, the Castillos went on the run and they were not caught for 3 years, so they were captured in 2017. In 2018, Laura pleaded guilty to 3 counts of SA and was sentenced to 33 years in prison. Eusebio also pleaded guilty and was sentenced to 5 life sentences. Abigail said she wanted to share her story to help other victims of abuse. She says she now feels safer that her adopters are in prison. If you are being abused in your home, please reach out for help. There's a teacher or a counselor, someone that can point you in the right direction. And if you see something, say something and be a voice for the discarded voices.
That's wild.
called wasp spray dope. Not only is it illegal,
but as News Channel 5's Chris Conti found out, those who use it for a high are doing some incredibly stupid things. It's all new at 6.
16-year-old Kanan Johnson was hoping for a quiet Christmas break.
I'm crazy.
He did not get his wish.
We were making cookies, and he just came in the side door.
2 weeks ago, officials say Danny Hollis walked into his family's farmhouse in Lawrenceburg.
He came over here and got a drink of water, and then he was like mumbling around and stuff.
Hollis then removed a knife from the butcher block and cut his throat.
And my mom was like, "You're bleeding on all of our stuff, like, can you not?"
From there, an all-out ransacking began. First, he threw a dresser down the stairs.
From the stairs and threw it and hit the wall and busted it.
Then, jumped out a second-story window, landing on a gazebo, breaking his neck. Danny Hollis, though, wasn't done.
And then one of our friends pulled in the driveway because we're making cookies. And so we're like, "Get out of here, get out of here."
At one point, Danny Hollis left the house through the front door and started chasing after the family down the street. By the time deputies got here, Danny was up in this tree, completely naked, and as deputies were trying to tase him, he was throwing fecal matter at them, back onto the ground. What's going through your mind?
This is crazy. It was like a movie.
It just took us all by surprise. Undercover officer Zach Ferguson wasn't just shocked by what Danny Hollis did.
We call it wall spray dope.
He also can't believe what Danny Hollis took that caused him to go crazy.
They can make it look like crystal meth.
Wasp spray dope is essentially crystallized wasp spray, cut with meth. It's dangerous and easy to make.
But it seems to be spreading rapidly.
Officer Ferguson is worried people are getting meth laced with wasp spray and not knowing it.
I mean, you can imagine what it would do to the human body.
When you see what it did to this guy, can you believe that anyone would want to take this drug?
No. Never.
Kanan Johnson was hoping for a quiet Christmas break. Instead, he got one he can't forget.
Now, it's bad enough we can't get Sudafed. If y'all start making it hard for me to get some wasp spray, I'm not gonna be happy, because it's some bull.
Personal development coach here for ugly girls, just like me. So, my views on friendships with women is this. I don't believe they are genuine. I believe for the most part they consist of trauma bonding of some sort. And I believe that women are only comfortable with other women who they can pity. Yeah, I said it. Some form of pity, some form of, okay, I need something to be wrong with you so I can feel comfortable enough with you to share all the things that I'm embarrassed about, all the things that I hate, all the secrets that I don't want anybody else to know. I need to know that there's something wrong with you in order to confide in you. And this is what most friendships with women are about. They're disingenuous. Women getting together and really caring about each other really is contingent upon who's better than who feels comfortable in the room with other women. And in order to feel comfortable in the room with other women need to feel like, okay, I'm here and you're there. Especially when you're a UGC girl. When you're an ugly girl, you understand this. Most of the friendships that you have, if you're honest, you felt like a mascot, sort of. You felt like you were the front man for the alibis. You were the hedge. You were the shoulder to lean on. You were the one everyone called when there was a problem. But you weren't the first one they called when it was about celebrating something joyous, when it was about enjoying a win of some sort. You were the last one to get the invite on that. This is really the nature of women and how women are. They will tell you it's not true. They will even say that women who are unable to be friends with other women are somehow toxic. Maybe those women see the truth. Maybe those women just see, okay, this is fake, this is phony, and I don't want to deal with it on that level. So you can care about women. You can assist women. You can be charitable. You can be the shoulder to lean on. You can keep her secrets and all that. But to say that you are valued by the other women because you do all that would be a reach. Because women can need you and hate you at the same time. And guess who knows that? Men.
I mean, it's some truth to what she says, but like, I personally, like, I have my best friend, we've been friends since the 7th grade, so literally a cool kid. I thought she was a cool kid because she had music notes in her hair, but I do know that there are some women that do like to be friends with people that are needy or only need stuff or make them look better. I wouldn't really call that friendship though. You know what I'm saying? That's why I literally honestly have one friend. I have a lot of associates, but when it comes to friends, like, I can only really say, like, I got one friend for real that's just like my homie, like, for life. But I do know that friendships, I think that when people say friends these days, it's kind of like phony, fraudulent. I know me personally, my life is so busy, I really don't have time for most people. And the only person I would make time for is a true friend. But yeah, there was some truth to what she's saying, but the relationship she is describing, I wouldn't say they're friendships.
And evidence about the wife who was murdered? Well, it's possible now that Holly may have been involved. Evidence collected at the scene much later than police had left it and opened it back up to the public. Evidence now collected shows she may have an integral role, in fact, in the abuse of other children, other victims who may still come to light. The Oklahoma State investigators coming out and looking into containers on the property, RVs on the property. We'll have to apologize for the grainy nature of this video, but this was shot almost hurriedly as the Oklahoma investigators showed up back on the scene with their mobile analysis unit. Medical examiner also appearing on the scene today and spending hours upon hours at that scene. A medical examiner not typically called out to a scene unless there are bodies. Still no announcement from the authorities if in fact they have found more bodies. But the drones flew overhead. Who knows if they had heat seeking? Evidence was processed out of a car. As you can see, the evidence envelopes at this point. Better late than never, I guess. But really, 7-8 days later, there's the drone. You can just see it flying. They had taken a couple of drones. They brought out all of this heavy equipment. Here are some of the things I can tell you that family members were able to find. And this is after Friday, after they've been able to actually go through the house the first time. Bloody toddler clothing that was found beneath the floorboards. The blood apparently still wet enough to get on the hands of the person who picked it up from under the floorboards. A 4-inch stack of Polaroids. 4-inch stack of Polaroids of children. VHS tape showing possible abuse. A ledger containing the names of children and birth dates. A long piece of lumber that had multiple chains and padlocks attached to it and spaced along the piece of lumber. In the hands of family members because they found it. Not the police. The police didn't bag that up as evidence. The family members had it and photographed it.
This case at Oklahoma is wild, and I feel like, I pray they do dig up the ground, but all these people touching evidence, like, obviously these people are going to be locked up, but it's like, I don't even know if they committed suicide or not. I know that there's been, I don't know if somebody's in custody or not, but if they are, they're not getting out. But all these people handling this evidence, yeah, I saw video of people walking through the house, finding stuff, and it's just like the police kind of just letting people just be all over the crime scene at this point. But they said they found like 53 cell phones there too. It's weird, and it's a big rabbit hole. We'll see what happens with that, but very sad story.
Yeah, and I want to talk more about this because I can't even believe how it's possible that this happened. Family claims 6-year-old child was forced to perform inappropriate acts at school. Basically, the child's cousin realized that there was something wrong with her and asked what was wrong with the 6-year-old girl. The 6-year-old girl said, "My stomach hurts, she just wanted to lay down. You could tell something was wrong with her." Then the child reportedly told her cousin that a boy had exposed himself to her in the lunch line at school. The girl also said that the student pulled her under a desk and forced her to perform an inappropriate act during class more than a week before. The incident was then recorded by another student on an iPad, for a school iPad, with the video showing the young girl doing her best to fight back. She was hitting him with a poetry book. Devastating. Cousin asked how long the incident took place, and she said, "Until they let me go." They claim that the district was not transparent with the family, even though they knew the situation. Everything was no comment, I cannot tell you, no comment. And the family saying, "You mean you can tell me abuse was happening for a week and a half and these kids are still at the same desk? My cousin is still at a desk with all boys having to see her abusers every single day." According to the school district, when the content was found on the school device, a report was made and Child Protective Services were contacted. So what I really don't like about this is every article says alleged or, the family claims, but the school found the video on the school iPad. So this obviously happened. Stop gaslighting this family into thinking that it didn't happen. The very worst part about this is the teacher was in the classroom. That teacher has since been placed on leave. But let's be real, that teacher should absolutely be fired. Also, the fact that this was done by other children in that class that are so young, there needs to be an investigation in those kids' lives at home, because I don't understand how these kids would know anything about it unless possibly something was happening to them, which is very common. Just an all-around, absolutely horrifying situation.
Yeah, talk to your kids.
Really scary.
He's going to tell us this new gender-neutral clothing line.
Yes.
Singer Celine Dion, let them have those things.
Yes.
Is pushing. No one gets that joke except us, but
okay.
What's going on?
This line is called Celine Nunu. I swear to God.
What?
That's it. Celine Nunu. And this is the website. It says, to liberate children from the traditional roles of boy and girl. It's to amplify the discussion about a humanistic education which is gender-free. She rolled out this new fashion line, and it's in conjunction with an Israeli fashion line, with this very bizarre ad. Ooh. She walks into a maternity ward, blows glitter around the room. All the boys are in blue, the girls are in pink. Not after she does her magic. And then in one of the bassinets, this big voodoo doll appears. It's a very strange line. See it on the right-hand side of your screen? See it?
Ew.
Okay.
Why is that enticing for a clothing line?
Let me show you the bizarre fashions, okay? Mm-hmm. These are gender neutral, but they're very dark. There are skulls in the collection. Why you would put babies in skulls, I don't know. Bones.
Planned Parenthood special.
There's this all-seeing eye that's, a big thing with
is that kind of the Antifa child?
Secret groups.
What was that?
Bizarre. And this group, this Nunu, they have demonic designs with horned hoodies for kids.
I thought it was Halloween
very
costumes. They were
dark.
pretty good as that.
Look at this. This is from their Instagram page.
That looks like something out of the Wizard of Oz when the Lollipop Kids. Or
it's really sick.
Lullaby League came up.
Celine Dion and the founders of this brand explained themselves in a CNN interview. Watch this.
We're at Celine trying to shape the future of all human beings by saying, find your own individuality.
We bring a new order as a concept
into the world.
You know what? You don't know what they're going to become later. And you don't want for them to have psychologiquement a problem of growth. And say, I'm supposed to be like that, I'm supposed to say that, I'm supposed to dress like this because I'm a guy, I'm a boy, I'm supposed to do... No, you don't know.
I think that's what people are going to say about this line. Celine, no.
No, this is going to go the way of Murphy Brown, okay? It's all going to be rejected by the customer. I don't even understand this.
Unless you're a member of the Addams family or a satanic cult, why would you dress your infant in this wear?
But they admitted, but they admitted what their goals are.
A new order.
They want a new order. They want to affect the culture, change the way people...
Help. Her heart may go on. Her sales are going to go the way of the Titanic.
Now, who are the helping hands organizations, Raymond? Do you think? Oh, this is a tease. Okay.
Yeah, you're moving on.
I'm moving on from
the next segment. Wait a minute. I want her to put an insignia. You know, Izod has the crocodile. I want the sinking ship from Titanic because that's where this line is headed. Now I've got it.
Okay.
You know, I used to like Celine Dion, but honestly, she has been on some weird stuff lately. Like, I will never understand this gender crap, honestly, for the life of me. you know, be who you want, but like, it's fine. I don't need to know what you're doing in the bedroom. I'm sorry, I just don't. Live your life though. But for me, like, it's corn and not porn. I just wanted to say that. Listen, y'all let y'all freak flags fly. But honestly, soon none of your genitalia is going to work. You're going to be my age and really not even interested in sex that much anymore. So it's really not that important as you think, honestly. Sex is kind of overrated. I mean, I know some people's whole lifestyles is sex and who we sleep with and love. And you know, you're entitled to do so. But, you know, do we need to put babies in skull costumes and say that they are just, I don't know. This world is wild, and maybe I'm just too old to understand it anymore. I have reached that wall. You guys have an amazing weekend. Is it in yet? It's out. I'm going to rest this raspy voice of mine. Shout out to everybody getting rest this weekend. Shout out to everybody living their life. Is it in yet? It's signing off.